Mail. Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Aaron, your host for the next hour or so, along with Katie.
Morning.
Good morning. And Nick is here.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Gal is here.
Morning.
Morning. Spence is still apparently not back from his trip, but
Where's he at now?
Allegedly.
Our number is 561-518-9773, and today's show is made possible by Vimix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So, what's new? What happened last week that can't wait to be told?
I picked up game deving again. I started playing video games again. I go through periods of playing games and then doing something else and blah blah coming back. I played a game and I finished it and I was like, I can make this. Like famous last words. So I opened up Godot again, which is a open source game engine, and was messing around and doing tutorials and things were clicking. I was like, this is awesome. It's like coming back to me because I've done a few game jams this way. And but then I ran into some problems where there was a feature I really wanted to put in the game, which is just an enemy AI that follows the player, but I wanted to follow it a specific way, and it would not work, and it was driving me crazy. And I watched thousands of tutorials, and each time I did it, it would not do it. So I just said, screw it. Let me go back to basics, because when I was learning all this stuff, I just watched the tutorials and doing it, but I don't understand why certain things are the way they are. So I went to handy dandy ChatGPT, and I was like, what is this concept? And I was using it as a teacher, and it was like, it would explain the concept, and then I'd be like, well, what happens if I get rid of this part? Like, why do I really need it? And I was like, well, you really need it because of this. And so then I'm doing like little exercises and asking it questions and having it make little like learning programs for me to like copy and write about. So I hit the max on my ChatGPT free account, and so it was like, oh, you're gonna have to wait 5 hours before you can ask it questions again. And I was like, fine, I'll give it the $20. And so I'm filling up my notebook. It's like I'm back in school, and my teacher is ChatGPT, because I just keep asking. It's all basic questions like, why would you use delta for speed, and why is this? What are frames per second? Why is it so important for like the program to use it or whatever? It's like really basic 101 questions that you just take for granted. But then when I try to edit it in my game, it breaks. I'm like, why is it breaking?
Interesting. So I do have one tip, and it's just unsubscribe from the $20 one, and instead go to OpenAI's platform and just grab pay-as-you-go API key. You are going to save tens of dollars, maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
Well, see, I tried to do that and I couldn't find it.
But hold on. What plan are you on that's $20 a month? The base plan
$20 a month is the basic.
For ChatGPT, I don't think so. That's what I'm paying for.
They raised it.
That's what you're paying for, man.
Well, hold on. I mean, I just subscribed to it not that long ago.
Well, I don't know. The plan that they said for me. I'm using ChatGPT 5. I don't know if that matters.
I mean, well, let me just look at my bank account. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm not paying 20. I'm pretty sure it's 10.
I've never seen a $10.
It used to be 10, but that was a year ago.
I could be dead wrong. Let me.
I think all of the models around, they're all charged $20 a month for the basic stuff.
Let's see.
In any way, what I found...
No, that is not true. My ChatGPT subscription, I get billed every single month for it, is $10. I just got billed on October 4th.
Well,
for
then let me
10
see.
$10.
I
Chat
haven't seen a $10 plan from ChatGPT, so
Is it possible that it was kind of like a special that would stick?
Pop. I mean, actually, what happened was I hit the thing where the limit, like Katie was just describing, where it said to me, you're out of whatever for the next 24 hours, and then it said, click here now to upgrade, and that's what I clicked. So they may be baking in a $10 offer for a certain amount of months on that base plan.
Yeah,
That
because
could be it, but I'm looking at
pricing
my.
page is either free, 20, or 200 a month.
Then I guess maybe part of the one of the ways to get around that is to hit the wall and then pay
Well,
to
that's
do
what
the
I
upgrade when
did.
you hit the wall.
That's what I did
You were
yesterday.
probably doing some sort of
But
promotion.
Katie,
Lucky.
What?
when you hit the
Still,
wall,
you can still pay a lot less than the $10 a month even. Like the pay as you go is peanuts compared. It really matters if you use excessive tooling that hits it like on a daily basis, then it'll grow beyond $20. But as long as you're a human asking it question, even if you upload books into it, right? It'll still be a lot cheaper than paying the $20 a month.
Okay, well, I'll switch it next month because I've already paid the 20 for this
Katie,
month.
did you follow their prompt or you knew where to go to
No, I
upgrade?
followed their prompt. They said upgrade, and
Huh.
and it was like you hit the limit, upgrade the account. And I was like, okay, and I hit it because I didn't want to wait 5 hours. I was in the middle of studying.
I just Googled ChatGPT $10 a month, and the first post from Reddit is from 2 months, or there is a post rather from Reddit from 2 months ago, and it looked like maybe it was some sort of special they were offering 2 months ago. Because I wouldn't have paid 20 for it, but 10 I could justify. I thought that was the base price.
Yeah, nope.
Hmm.
Unfortunately.
Oh well.
Can
So-
you set a limit on the API key that you're describing,
can-
Gal? You can set a limit.
It's built for companies
Sure.
who they not only that, you can split it per project and get like
Oh,
a separate
nice.
API key for this, separate API, and you can set limits, and you can also set the identity of each of these, right? You're building your own. Think of it as building your own chat interface through it.
Oh, but it says I have the contact sales.
No. I did it automatically. After the show, I'll show you.
Okay, well, I'm on their page right now.
Yeah, trust me, they make it convoluted, but once you find it, it makes total sense.
Okay.
So,
And do you have to build your own agent for that, or can you just use the regular ChatGPT
you won't use
app?
No, you won't use the regular app. You will use there's a ton of alternative open source apps that just allows you to slap on the
API key.
The API key.
Sure.
Now, Katie, are you when using Godot, are you using Visual Studio Code to edit your code?
No, I was doing that, but then I got really frustrated because I kept making suggestions and the suggestions were wrong. so I'm just using the Godot editor right now, and maybe I'll add it later. But I just needed less distractions.
Okay, so for example, one of the solutions is within the editor. First of all, you can configure it whether it gives you or it doesn't give you suggestion, etc. But within the editor, you can just hook up the chat to the API key, and you're just asking it question through there, whether it's with the context of what you're working on or without. Right? You can choose. So you don't really need the application that ChatGPT or Cursor or Grok or Gemini provide you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just need something that knows how to send the question through the API. So
Nice.
and
I'll
then
look
you
into
just manage conversations with it. Yeah, I'm using something called Jan. It actually comes with its own locally hosted LLM model but it also hooks up to any model that you want online. So I have it connected to ChatGPT. I have it connected to Gemini. I have it connected to. No, I don't have it, but I was planning to connect it also to Grok. This way, I can I can see. Okay, same question, different model. What will I get? Stuff like that.
All right,
And it's
and
much cheaper. I do not pay over. I think it'll charge. It charges in increments of $5, and I don't think I've hit the first $5. You prepay $5, and then takes credits off or something like that. I haven't reached that yet. And I've been
How
using it
long
for
ago?
months.
Months? Wow.
Yeah, because I'm not using it so much. I'm asking it a few questions a day, right? And when I do use it a bit more intensively, then it's just and they're probably going to be a couple of days afterwards that I don't ask it anything. So very the stress of am I paying too much and not using it has reduced since I've done it. So,
Yeah, at $10 I don't have that, but at 20 I would. So
yeah.
that will be something for me to investigate. I guess it looks like in a calendar year when this, because from the screenshot I'm reading, it looks like this was a 12-month. Even though I didn't prepay for it, it looks like it was a 12-month deal. So I picked up a device yesterday. Was thrifting and came across a Sony PlayStation 1 for $12.
Wow, that's a steal.
Yeah, I got there. It doesn't look like it's not in the greatest shape. There
How
are
much
apparently some.
Do you remember there was a cracking mode where you can put burned?
Yeah, so there is some issues with the disk drive. I've got to clean this thing up. I need to retrobrite it. I haven't even plugged it in yet, but that one of the things I'm probably going to do with this is find a way to run some sort of disk emulator on it so that I don't have to buy discs. That would, to me, that would be kind of fun. The only problem is in just some tertiary research yesterday while I was sitting at the mall. The disc emulators for the PS1 are like stupidly expensive, like $150 for the emulator, which I really can't justify because I won't play it that much. So then I'm thinking maybe do the upgrade and flip it for people that are not capable of doing an upgrade like that themselves. I'm not sure, but for $12, if nothing more, if I never touch it, it added to the shelf. They also had, and this I came very close to pulling the trigger on this. They had an old IHG Atlantic City slot machine for sale. That was $1,500. I came very close to purchasing that, but I could not justify the $1,500 to stand in my living room and win or lose my own money for nothing. So it was a good thrifting afternoon.
Yeah, a friend of ours bought a couple of claw machines, for his young daughters. The most interesting aspect of that machine was how tweakable everything is. The amount of time that it operates the stick, but mostly the tension of the claw is completely tweakable, right? So it's
why it's
so it all depends on who's running it, right? Not so much on who built it. Yeah, very interesting.
So I'm gonna look at that as a project in the next as we get into the winter.
You could go another route,
a
simpler route, and that's like buying a Raspberry Pi with a nice case that looks like the PS1 and just load a bunch of emulated games on it.
Yeah, but that kind of defeats the point of having any of the original hardware. I did think about that. What I could end up doing, worst case scenario, is again, and I haven't touched it yet. The guy told me like, oh, it was a little finicky with some certain games. You can purchase like on AliExpress the disc the scanner module, the disc reader module for like 13 or 14 bucks. So I can easily do a swap of that.
Yeah, but
So
you
yeah,
still
I've got-
need the original discs, right? So
Well, yeah, I do. And so then the question is, what can I do? Do I flip the unit again? I'm realistically never going to play this thing anyway, if I'm just being
Yeah.
perfectly honest with myself. So if I can just get it back to base and default, and if it works at some point, if I get to where I'm selling my collection because I don't want it or need it, it would be a working PS1. So
yeah.
so yeah, pretty good deal, I think, for 12 bucks. We'll see. We'll see if I got lied to with the usability of the unit, and if it is a complete and total dud, then I can get over $12 thrown away. You know what I also saw was a bunch of and I haven't seen these in the public before. A bunch of CED discs. Do you remember
A what?
CED? It was RCA's laser disc alternative that took them like 30 years to build. Yes, this was a very
That sounds like a very American thing.
RCA started building a laser disc alternative thing back in like the early 70s, and it took them like 20 years to develop, and by the time they released it, it was already like the mid 80s, and at that point, like,
It was obsolete.
yeah, it was completely obsolete. I mean, so these are like
nothing.
big, they're records. I mean, they hold the same footprint of a record. It uses a stylus and a phonograph. I mean, it's a whole it's a record.
Video on vinyl.
Video
vinyl.
on vinyl, but it took them like 15 or 20 years to come out with. They lost an estimated $650 million in the development of it, and then by the time it came out, VHS had already. When did VHS come out? Mid 80s, early 80s, late 80s.
VHS is 80s. I think Betamax is late 70s.
So Betamax was already out.
Yeah.
VHS was coming or on the way out, and then by the time it was released, it looks like it officially hit the market in 1981. After 17 years of development, it was already obsolete. So had never seen one of those in person before. I had just watched a YouTube video on the history of the CED. It's an interesting device, and obviously there's not a lot of them.
It looks like a huge zip drive.
Yeah, it's massive. They're huge units. So yeah, pretty pretty interesting little device to see in person. Oh, the official name of it was Selectavision. That's what the name of the
Unit.
product line.
that was the Selectavision was the name. So it's if you're looking for, I'll throw a video in chat. There's a guy called Technology Connections. I'm sure some of you have watched his videos. His name's Alec. He's a very eclectic guy. He did a video on the Selectavision. Actually, this is 6 years ago at this point. I'm just looking at it now, and it's a really, really fascinating video. So,
Oh, interesting. So the disc is being extracted from the shell into the machine.
into the machine. Yeah, it's a very
Wow.
interest. Again, when you
Doesn't
start, they
play
started
within the shell.
No.
Yeah.
so they
Oh,
they
man.
started development of this thing in the 60s, and at that time it was like, oh, this makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. And then by 1980, you're like, what the hell is this thing? Like, what kind of archaic technology is RCA releasing? They I think, I don't know if this is in this video or this was me doing other research. This project led to not the demise, but it was the beginning of the end for RCA as like a major player. They pissed away so much money and had nothing to show for it when it was said and done. I mean,
Cool.
17 years of development for a product is absurd in the technology space. I mean, it's almost unheard of.
The fact that they kept on going with it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, you get to the point of we've already invested so much time and money, we have to get it to market. Was probably the approach, and we've seen that before. I mean, you can look at like Windows Phone and some other garbage products that have been released in modern times, where the money's been invested, the time's been invested, and especially in a format that is so reliant on other people, right? You have to then strike deals with publishing houses and producers of movies to make available their content on your format. So not only do you have a historic video or a bad device, then you've got to try and convince Paramount and Sony and everybody else to release their product. And I don't even know I don't think much came out on it in terms of like actual content.
Well, the videos that I just searched for it and for videos, and those who demonstrated, they have like bookshelves full of movies. So
There can't be
was-
bookshelves worth.
bookshelves full. Yeah, I'll send you
I wonder how many of them are unique. Like, could
it
they
looks
have?
like they are.
Oh, I was going to say,
it
because I could
definitely
see
looks
you
like they
having.
are.
So they only sold 550,000 of these players. I can't. I'd be very curious how many there actually were.
Well, apparently for a blip, there it was like considered a viable option, but as you said, it was too late.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch.
Sorry.
So apparently there was a Prime Day last week.
There was.
Yep.
Yeah. It started on the 8th or 7th or 8th.
I read an
7th or 8th.
article from this author who said that next time there's a Prime Day, check the prices, because many of the prices that were there advertised as Prime Day were not any better than what they normally sell it.
That's always been there. That's why
Really?
the plugin that Gal recommended a couple of years ago, what's it, Keepa?
Yeah.
Is such an important thing to have installed on your computer. Keepa. You're on I don't know. You probably can't. I doubt you can do it on your phone. Maybe there's an app or
No,
something.
I mean,
but,
I'm not a Prime Day.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
even if
doesn't
you're
matter.
not, you
Every
shouldn't
time
be
you go and
whether.
buy something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I bought what did I buy this week? I bought a pair of I bought some new AirPods. I bought the newest. I bought 4th generation Apple AirPods. My 1st gen ones have started having battery life issues, and the way to replace the battery is incredibly complex, and Apple charges $90 to do it themselves. So I bought a pair of AirPod 4s, and they're still on sale now for $89. But because of this Keepa plugin, I was able to see that this was in fact a good deal. This is the price that they normally go on sale for.
Okay, so that's Keepa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just gives you a graph of the historical, and you can go to when the product has been introduced on Amazon, so you can see its entire. Very, very, very helpful.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean that is one of the big issues with online shopping. It is very hard. Everything is always on sale constantly. So it is very hard to tell what is a good. I mean, if you go to Amazon right now and search for AA batteries, you will find very few, if maybe any of them, are actually what their suggested MSRP is. So it's very, very hard to figure out what is an actual deal and what is not. And then of course it gets amplified even more during so-called Prime Day, where some of the stuff is more expensive than it is on its regular sale price, because it's, let's assume Amnon, assume something is normally on sale 30% off. But then on Prime Day, it's 20. You're like, oh, 20% off is a great deal. And it is off MSRP, but it's been 30% off for the last 3 months. So it seems like it's a good deal, but it's really not. So yeah,
Now,
definitely
keep in
use.
Okay, good to know.
Definitely
Keep
use
in
Keepa.
mind, Yeah, keep in mind that it's not necessarily fraud. What
No.
happens is there might be some seller that actually did sell it for a good price, but he had very, very low units in stock. So once those are gone, then the next one with stock becomes the front runner for that product. So yeah, there might have been a flash deal, but now only the deals of 20% are available. So it's a complex system.
You know how I use it? So I have it installed and it's awesome. But I use it to see if the item I want goes on sale on regular times. So like if I want to see if this was on sale on Black Friday last year, I can pull up the whole timeline and and see if there's a sale coming up, will this product be on sale and how much was it on sale last year at that price point? Because maybe if it's something that's not, I don't need it immediately, maybe I wait a couple months for it to go either on Black Friday or Labor Day or whatever, because that was historically when it was the cheapest.
So I can tell you that it has a feature, very interesting feature, when it comes to clothing, where you have multiple sizes and multiple styles. It's really hard to know like what's available, what will be the price, and all that. It has a view on its website that you go through that table, and it lists everything as a table that you can filter out based on different parameters. You can see everything spread out in a single table. So if some entry has multiple styles, multiple prices, multiple finishes, you can, so definitely worth exploring. Very, very effective.
Okay.
Which
right.
which of these styles has the lower price, etc. All of that. So all of that is just single pane.
All right.
I had a before you move on, Amnon.
Yeah.
I had a circumstance this week where I needed something immediately, and down here in Wilmington, we don't have the luxury of very many products being delivered even very few next day. Every once in a while, very few, or most 2 if not 3 days. And so I ended up having to buy at AutoZone, and the price was a little bit more in comparison to Amazon, but it wasn't absurd. So brick and mortar still providing, at least in some elements and aspects.
Oh yeah, they do, and it's a good
No,
thing.
it's not,
to,
and it's
even in our area, if I need something, I always go look at Amazon, see the price, then go to Walmart and see the price, and then just do a general Google thing and look at the top listings
Yeah.
to see. And in some cases, it's a lot cheaper to buy it somewhere else.
I think it was
So
in the
it's fine.
mid 20. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't cheaper. I think it was in the mid 20s to buy it on Amazon
Mhm.
versus like I think I spent 37 on it at AutoZone. So it was
Well-
definitely cheaper, but 3 days later, which was not
Yeah.
suitable. So so yeah, always keep in mind brick and mortar is still an option.
Yep, still valid.
Very,
All right, who's got Bose speakers?
would never purchase
got-
Bose speakers
I
in
got-
my life.
I got headset.
You got what?
A headset. A Bose headset.
Well,
not speakers.
the article here
Well,
says
actually, no. I have a bunch of Bluetooth connected speakers. Yeah.
Bose will brick key features of its Sound Touch Wi-Fi speakers and soundbars soon. On Thursday, Bose informed customers that as of February 18,
They're
26,
gonna shut down their server.
what?
They're gonna shut down their server.
I don't know, it will stop supporting the devices and the device's cloud-based features,
Yeah.
including the companion app, will stop working.
Sounds like they're shutting down their servers.
Well,
Yeah.
so it said the SoundTouch app enabled numerous capabilities, including integrating music services like Spotify and TuneIn, and the ability to program multiple speakers in different rooms to play the same audio simultaneously. So yeah, they're gonna brick it. And there was another thing that was gonna be bricked. Um, something about, where was it? Oh, come on. Smart homes something. That was especially I wanted to ask you. I guess. Well, I'll find it. Oh, there it is. Smartphone. Oh no, that's not it. No. No, I don't know. I can't really catch it right now. But something about early adopters of smart home stuff.
What are you looking for?
Looking for the actual story that's also about bricking something.
I mean, anything that runs.
Oh, there it is. There
On
it
it.
is. There it is. In August of 2016, Logitech launched pop switches. You know what these are? Oh. Which provide quick access to a range of smart home actions, including third party gadgets.
Okay.
Like, for example, people would set their pop button to launch Philips Hue or Insteon lighting presets. Play.
Sounds like the Amazon button. You remember those?
No,
You don't remember Amazon buttons?
I never.
Amazon would give for either
Other,
free or $5 a Wi-Fi connected button that you could program through their Alexa app.
to do a certain thing like a
that
subroutine.
once you click it, you know,
Okay.
you would buy it and it will be branded. Let's say it'll be branded with your laundry detergent, and you stick it next to the laundry in the laundry room, and when you're out of laundry detergent, you press it, and it basically prepares an order on your Amazon account, or just makes the
Interesting.
order, and then 2 days later it's at the door.
Okay,
But they killed it after a few years.
these buttons says could store 3 actions. Worked by identifying smart home devices on a shared Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
And it was controllable via a dedicated Android or iOS app. The Pop Home Switch starter pack launched at $100 in individual pop. So if you have any of these, they will stop working.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah. It's a shame, but that's the thing about anything smart, anything that we call smart that is connected to a cloud. The moment it relies on a server outside, once it's not financially viable for that company to run, that's number one. And number two, you are basically sharing your activity with that third party, right? So you're relinquishing control and you're exposing yourself, your information, and those two combined, it's a problem. It's not and yes, and we'll see more and more of it, because everything that had to do with that bubble of everything must be smart, everything must be connected outside, that started as fads, they will die down, and you will remain with a few large actors. And the problem with the large actors is, because they're so large, you can't trust them, that you are in their, that they care about you at all, right? They just need your data at this point.
Can I make an observation on this, though?
Yeah.
It seems like, and again, this is that I don't have any evidence to back this up. I'm just shooting from the hip. But it seems like this issue of devices becoming, what's the word to use for it? End of life, obsolete, end of life. It seems like this is a more prominent trend with larger, more profitable companies, Bose, Sonos, right? That's where a lot of these discussions have been. And it's unfortunate that it's happening with them because they charge such a premium. I would expect, when I buy a $25 smart gadget on Amazon and it works for 2.5 years and then the company goes out of business, I'm like, oh, well, shit,
Yeah.
whatever. I spend $300 on a speaker from Bose, who obviously is not going out of business, and they decide to end it just seems way more
Yeah,
prominent.
but you spent that $300 10 years ago. So in their mind, right, there is no value in keeping you as a customer anymore.
But you don't. But it just seems like that is a larger issue with the more with the more premium products, which it seems like it would be it seems like it should be the reverse. I mean, if you go and buy a $8 smart switch on Amazon and then the Chinese company that gives you some weird app to operate it stops working after 18 months, you kind of expect it. Like it's why it was $8. It's very unfortunate that that's the case with Sonos is the worst in terms of what they've done. I mean, they have completely people have invested thousands of dollars in Sonos's ecosystem for all of the stuff to be literally DOA. I mean, it does not work anymore, and it never will again. That's really, really crappy.
Their first generation, I think that.
And the problem with that stuff is this is not a little. Most of this stuff is not just like, oh, I can just buy a new one. No, I mean, many of these things were installed by AV companies. There's management with them. This is expensive premium gear. That's really it's a huge problem.
Not Sonos.
Why?
No. I mean, Sonos stuff mostly was not installed by AV professionals.
No, I don't mean it. But for example, if you were building a house and you were getting Sonos gear, you would have a company that would come in and handle and set that stuff up.
True, but they don't prefer Sonos. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, they don't prefer Sonos, but I'm saying that's where a lot of this stuff exists in larger build outs where you'd have multi-zone, because they were one of the first to offer this concept of doing multi-zone music and control based on room. I mean, they really were kind of not the pioneers, but they were one of the first to bring it mainstream for consumers, and then they rug pull you. And that sucks.
They brought it to consumers who can install it themselves.
Yes.
There are here's the problem, right? The problem is that we're living in the consumer market that has been built before smart stuff, right? Was built with, okay, we give something with a 1-year warranty. We're gonna keep selling it for about 5 years, and in about 7 years, we're gonna claim we never saw this product in our life, right? Like that's how business was working up until now. And when you introduce smart stuff, those 7 years do not mean that the product stopped working before, because it wasn't connected to anything that can stop it or that it relies on the external. But now these companies, they say, okay, this product line, we're planning it for the next 7 years. We do not care about anything beyond that, right? And if it was very successful, then it might have some continuation. And that's what we've seen with Sonos, right? Sonos was a company that was built from the get-go, kickstarted, just to provide this type of AV professional installation type solutions for every consumer. And they were successful. But their first iteration, to be honest, was back in the early 2000s. So it's obsolete. The technology is obsolete. And if they keep on maintaining it, they are going to lose a lot of development cycles, right? They're going to grind the developers on, okay, let's make sure that the first iteration works, and they can't because the components are gone. Just creating a test environment to test the software is almost next to impossible. And so we are in this reality that, if to tell the truth, where we see it the most is when we talk about it the most is Apple, right? There are these hardware behemoth, but If they don't want to support an older generation, they'll stop supporting it. And so old phones started to die, right? They don't get their OS upgrade anymore, and if you don't get the OS upgrade, then you can't connect, etc., etc., etc.
That
We're
yeah, I
gonna
mean,
see it.
yeah,
If you're not,
we do. You're right.
yeah,
My
and that's the reality of these smart. So this is the new economy. If you're buying something that is connected outside of your house, it is guaranteed to stop working, right, within 7 to 10 years.
And I think most folks, for example, I think with the iPhone, you bring up Apple and the iPhone, which I think is a good example. People know and expect that when they buy an iPhone, they know that they're unlike something like a home, which is what the Sonos is essentially just a freaking DAC. I mean, it's a Bluetooth DAC that connects speakers to a phone.
No, it's much more than that because it's not Bluetooth. That's the thing.
Well, okay, you're right. It's not Bluetooth, but it's a device in which you can play music from your Spotify account on surround sound speakers throughout your home. You know, it's unfortunate. I think to me, I see the difference in the premium that is being charged. If you're going to charge me for the premium, then I would hope that you are not following some of the same you are not following some of the
Patterns.
same cycles as the Chinese companies, which again you come to expect. It's the reason why. I mean, it's the reason why this stuff is dirt cheap. You're not paying for the longevity of it, and it's just it's frustrating that you're told to, oh, well, buy the premium, and then the premium is purchased, and then you're in the same boat whether you had spent $600 on the ecosystem or 60. You're in the same freaking boat.
So here's the funny thing, right? You mentioned the Chinese stuff, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Chinese stuff, and you're right, every smart plug that you can buy out of a China no-name new brand factory comes with its own app, but in the back end, it's exactly the same switch, right? Which is sourced by exactly the same hardware manufacturer, which is sourcing the exact same server, and they're just selling, let's call it like a section, like of that management to that brand. And so, because it's the same hardware, these hardware, as long as you figure out how, and people are doing it online all the time, you can reflash it with firmware that will continue to work. When you do it from a top brand, they have some customized stuff that nobody can. There isn't enough interest for a community, even, right, to try and hack it to such a state that it'll be operational without the external servers. So you go buy the premium, but you're shooting yourself in the foot in advance, because once that company decides that this is no longer profitable, and that will happen if they do not become number 1, 2, or 3 in that space, right? And so it's dead. You're buying something dead out of the gate. It took me years until I actually touched a Sonos product. And the first Sonos product I bought was because it was out of the choices that I could get from, for like a special present. This was during COVID from my company. Like Sonos was one of them. So I said, okay. And the only reason I bought that specific speaker was because it also had Bluetooth fallback. Like it could become like a dumb speaker, not just a smart speaker. And I'm okay with something like that. Give me something smart, but let me make sure that I can continue using it for eternity without you. I'll buy that. If it's good, right? I'll buy that. But if something, I've seen this now twice. The birthday parties that you do outside of the shed, and this family, they came in with their Apple speaker. Now you connect the Apple speaker at home, it hooks up to your Wi-Fi, and It's basically a client to the service that is outside. You take it to the shed, there is no way to connect to it. There's no Bluetooth. There's no direct connection between. It needs internet in order to operate. That is a bad design, right? And those are the ones that we're going to see drop off. Those are the switches. What was it? Casa?
Oh,
Casa
Oh.
TP Links service. Casa.
No, not TP Links. It was another one. You remember the Will.io? Will.i.am bought that, right?
I don't remember
which
what
one.
it was. It wasn't Casa though, but it was
Yeah.
something similar.
Something that was free suddenly cost $5 a month, right?
Yeah.
You killed it. It's like, so.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you're talking about buying the premium versus buying a cheap, I was a mechanic for years. I was working in my own shop. As
You weren't a company. You weren't a company man.
we sort of. You can buy tools from big names, and you
Snap-on.
let's not mention names.
Okay, sorry.
And you pay $20, $30, $40 for a wrench.
Yeah.
Or you can go to Harbor Freight and buy it for $5 or $6 and use it. And my way of thinking was, because it happened, you break a socket at one of the name brand, and yeah, they will guarantee it for life. And you need to get in touch with them, and they will probably send somebody out and exchange it when they are in your area.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're working on a car and you just broke it, are you going to sit and wait 3 days for the truck to come around? No. And I didn't break many, but the way that I was thinking is, no, you buy the cheap ones, and when it wears out or whatever, you buy another one, a new one.
Well, and it's very simple. I mean, for example, Amnon, you went through this about 2 years ago with those lights that you had in your living room,
Right.
The smart things. What did you spend on those when you bought them?
Who knows? I don't remember.
$30-$40 maybe.
Probably.
And they worked for 5 years?
Yeah.
And then they stopped?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
it's that's the thing, is that buying the most expensive, Nick, you would expect them to last, and
I'd expect it to work forever.
No,
I mean,
and
until the company goes out of business.
Yeah, and it's worse when something, let's say that something breaks, things break, but if they break it just because they figured it's not, that's bad. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's just something interesting about it.
Let's talk about Windows 11 a minute here. Microsoft is eliminating.
Is it official? Has the deadline passed, or is it later this month?
No, it's
already happened?
Tuesday. No, it's Tuesday.
It's this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Microsoft is eliminating all known workarounds that let users install Windows 11 without an internet connection or Microsoft account.
Yes.
Forcing everyone through the online setup process.
I call bullshit. Not all.
This is all for now, but for example, they had just made a big patch a couple of months ago, and there was already a new workaround. And so I guess they've patched the new workaround, which I'll note the most recent way to do it is a royal, and I mean royal, pain in the ass. So I guess they've
what
patched
I mean
that.
is
You just install with an old ISO.
Well, that's true, but what I mean by bullshit, call bullshit, is enterprise pro versions for sure will be able to still be installed without internet, right? So,
well, you'll have to wait and see. They're not saying anything about.
There's no wait and see.
That.
I mean, government will still install stuff that isn't connected to the internet, right? So it's not.
That's
not their call.
That's my question. What if I want to have a computer that's not connected to the internet, and I'm just
Windows
using?
Then you don't buy Windows Home. Yeah. Then you don't buy Windows Home.
Well, I don't know that they're talking about Windows Home.
Well,
That's what they're talking about.
even Pro, you cannot. There is no default option to install without a connection. You have to use. You have to load up CMD once you're inside the installer and run some commands, which changes a registry, and then you're able to do it. But that's gone away.
There's that's what I'm saying. It's not going away, but they've
just patched the most
I agree.
way.
The annoyance is heightened. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying,
They're
Amnon?
saying it's going away, but it's not going away. That's what I'm saying.
Amnon, have you tried to install without an internet connection?
Not 11.
Because what it tells you
10,
to do is it walks you through connecting your laptop or desktop to your phone's mobile hotspot. That is their solution to installing Windows without an internet connection. There's a QR code that pops up and it says something to the extent of you need a network connection, pair your phone or whatever to it. That's their workaround.
Yeah. What if you're somewhere where you only have dial-up?
Well, that's still an internet connection.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
that would be that. I would imagine that would be sufficient to install Windows 11.
Yeah, all they need is to authenticate.
Call home.
Yeah.
Oh.
And let's be honest, if you're in a place where dial-up is still your primary source of the internet, why are you worrying about Windows 11 anyway? I mean, your concern of running the most recent operating system is what are you going to do? Get put into a botnet at 56K? I mean,
problem is that if you go and you buy a computer today, it comes with Windows 11. It doesn't come with Windows 10 or 7.
Well, actually, if you're buying a computer that from a big box store, many of those are already set up. So that might not be an issue.
They're talking about
not the initial login.
It depends on who you're buying from.
Well,
okay, so officially, right, OEM installation, you are presented with the OOBE, out-of-the-box experience, it's called, right? And the out-of-the-box experience says, okay, give me your username. That's the first step. It's basically the way the system looks right after the setup process is finished. So that's when you need the internet connection. Because what they want is they want you to use... Look, Mac does it as well, right? They want you to use the Windows login, right? The live.com login. So
yeah, but at that point, you can never restart your computer and log in unless you're connected to the internet.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
Why?
That's not true. No.
The passkey is stored.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, that's right. They have a
it's
pin.
It's about creating an authentication ID, and then all of the authentication is done locally. It's not done remotely.
Yeah.
And this is a larger issue, and I've said this for years, and I've caught some flack for it. For you as an end user, I think there is no issue with you logging in with your Microsoft account. There's no issue with that. You can ignore all of the features, so on and so forth. The issue with the Microsoft account comes forward, and where I've had to use it is when you are in a small business where there is not an email address tied to every single user, and you've got computers that are not owned by one individual person, where you don't want to connect a single either @Live or Office 365 email address to a computer user because it's used by multiple people. That's
Shame
the issue.
on you using the same computer with multiple people.
It's not.
What are you, an internet cafe?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, like the most recent example for me was a computer used at a moving company in their warehouse. The computer they use for. No, I know you are, but I'm for the end user. Amnon, for example, install Windows 11 and log into your Microsoft account. What do you care? Like it doesn't affect your use case. My Windows 11 is logged into my account. There's no issue with it. There is an issue in business use case where there is no email address to tie it to. There's no reason that any home user should not just log in.
The thing that I am worried about, and it may be old-fashioned, is privacy.
They have your privacy anyway, whether you're logged into their account or not.
The thing is, I mean, this is this is why the first thing that came to mind is, okay, yeah, we'll give you a year extension on security updates for Windows or updates if you back up your stuff to us. Why?
Because they want you to be logged in.
See,
They just
that's the
want
thing,
your
though.
account. I
Well,
mean, it's
say
clear,
that
we're
you
the product.
want me logged in, but no, you want to back it up. You want all your settings and stuff.
Because they want to tell you you're out of space, buy more storage.
Well,
come on.
yeah,
we
I know. But
exactly
you see,
why.
that's what I'm saying. It's not. There are other motives here. It's not like, okay, yeah, it's better if you have a
I'm
Microsoft
their
account.
motive
Hold on,
is
hold on.
singular.
Everybody needs to stop talking. Hold on, Amnon. How dare you
How dare
try and make the assumption that there is motives afoot with Microsoft? You don't want to talk about Snap-on, but you're going to sit here and denigrate the great Microsoft? What the hell is
Yeah.
wrong with you? How dare you assume
Yeah.
ulterior motives? You should be ashamed, sir.
And on the same, they talk about companies. It said it's been a while since Apple last mocked Windows security. But the iPhone maker has just released an ad that hits Windows hard. The 8-minute commercial, pokes fun at the CrowdStrike blue screen of death issue that took down millions of Windows machines last year.
What 8-minute commercial?
So-
Where is Apple
8-minute
airing
commercial.
Where is Apple airing an 8-minute?
I have
What
no
are they
idea.
buying? What are they spending? Like 25 or 50 million dollars on the Super Bowl to
I
play
have
an
no
8-minute
idea.
commercial?
I don't know, but they're hitting Windows hard, and yeah, I mean,
You know what's so interesting
Micros-
though, and Gal brought this up. He says he made the point that when you buy a Mac, you log into your app, you log into your Apple and which is your iCloud account.
yeah,
Gal, it's so interesting because there is a reason as a Mac user that you would want to log in to your iCloud account. You get something for it. You get your text messages from your phone and your iPad. You get access to your documents and your stuff. The reason people don't want to log into
as
a Microsoft
long as you
account-
only buy Apple stuff.
not only if you're not, for example, if I went out today and bought a MacBook Air, I would be able to log into my iCloud account, which I do have an iPhone. I have plenty of other devices.
That's the thing.
And
You have an iPhone.
I have an iPhone. You're right. If we're looking at the market, a lot of people have iPhones.
So let's put it this way.
But hold on.
If you
The
have
point
an
I'm
iPhone,
making.
if you have an iPhone, you already sold your soul. So it doesn't matter at this
No,
point
but-
whether
but-
you buy anything Apple. Yeah, you're right.
But understand my point. You are incentivized to log in to your iCloud account because you are getting something for it. I have multiple Windows computers. None of them are logged into the same Microsoft account because there's no freaking benefit of me to log in. I get nothing.
Okay, so
for it.
let me
That's
surprise
the
you.
issue. Hit me.
Let me surprise you. There is a benefit. There's a
Okay.
huge benefit. It's just you consciously make the decision not to do it. You can connect, but the moment your computers are logged into the same account, right? It doesn't matter if they're on the same network or not. They can automatically share certain things. You can connect it to a phone, any phone, by the way, iPhone or Android, and get like all of the information synchronized nicely. Very, very
You're
similar
talking about-
to what iPhone does.
You're talking about Windows Link, the app for Windows.
The
to connect your
phone link, yeah, the phone link
A
app,
phone
yeah.
link, sorry. Yeah, phone
Yeah.
link. Yeah.
And it is very elaborate. Like I don't know if it's as elaborate as the Apple solution, but it is very elaborate, right? So you do get that. If you are logged into the same account, then every machine you log in will look exactly the same, and as long as the same applications are there, then all of the icons and everything will function pretty much the same way. We just make a conscious decision not to do it because we understand what's going on. But somehow when it comes to Apple, everybody's blind. Apple has been doing this much more effective to their consumers, right? And keeping them blind that this is happening. That's what kills me. That's why I like the Apple fanboys. It when it comes to that, it's like, oh, it works so seamlessly. Yeah, because you have no choice, right? It's not.
Yeah, but I agree with the no choice, but you feel like you are getting something beneficial for the choice.
I do not agree, but
How-
that's
how
fine.
do you
That's
not-
that's a
how do you
matter
not-
of opinion.
But I'm
right?
saying the ability to send iOS messages from your Mac is a huge feature. It is why many folks invest in the iOS
I do not
ecosystem.
have an iOS account, so I don't care about it.
I know you don't care
That's
about
the
it,
difference.
but well, I understand. But if you leave your house right now and walk into go to Target, Gall, and start polling people as to what phones they have, you're going to find that probably 60%, if not more, are walking around with iPhones. I mean,
Right,
a lot of
and
them
what
do.
I say is all of them are blind. That's what I'm saying. They're completely oblivious to the fact that they have sold, right, their freedom in order to buy the iPhone.
Yeah, because they believe. I don't think they're blind and oblivious. I think they feel like they're getting the best experience with
And
knowing
I
the
say it's
issues
not the
that
best
exist.
Because
experience.
they
That's
were
all.
told
I'm
so.
saying
Well, I mean,
there are alternatives. It's just nobody.
Yeah.
You are not even able to look at the alternative because you have no choice. So it doesn't matter to me personally.
Okay,
No,
you
to
know
me
what?
personally, it doesn't matter, right? Because
Uh,
I will not use it.
I
So
mean, we
what
can
you're
go back.
describing is
God, we can go back and forth on it. Let me ask you this question, though, a second. And I never had to do it. 5 computers, all running Windows. Can I log into the same account? Can I
Yes.
set it? Can I set them up with the same email address?
yes.
of course.
Will it not say this is already taken?
No, that doesn't care. You can do the same with Macs. You can do the same with everything.
Yeah, it's just
Nobody
as
says you're
long as
not allowed to own multiple computers. It has nothing to do with it.
as long as the computers have unique names. For example, they're not all just called
Yeah.
PC. Then
They
yeah,
can
then
still
it's not a
have the
problem.
same name, even as
Oh.
long
Oh,
if
okay.
they're on the same network, you'll have problems. But they can have the same names as well. It
Yeah,
has
you
zero.
you never want that. But I thought that that each Windows machine would have to have its
No.
own.
And let's be clear, there are some benefits of the Microsoft account. For example, if you your Windows license becomes tied to your Microsoft account, while you might think, "Oh, that's a terrible, that's terrible. I don't want that." With what Microsoft has done as of late, with free upgrades for if you bought a legitimate copy of Windows 7, you can have rolled through all of the up all the way up until Windows 11 completely for free. That stuff is stored on your account. You do get some of the features. For example, on a laptop, if your device is stolen, you can erase it, you can lock it, you can do some of those things when it connects to the internet. So there are some benefits. It just feels like
Yeah.
there are far less than
Lost passwords, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
there are
There are
benefits.
benefits, but the cost is very, very clear to us when it comes to Microsoft.
Mhm.
And when it comes to Apple, nobody looks at the cost.
I think you're
That's
right.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm not gonna discount that.
I
at all.
think Katie is raising her hand. She must say something.
No, I was stretching.
Oh, okay.
I have Apple and I have Microsoft. That is my contribution to the conversation.
Well,
One thing I can tell you, I've been
I-
using Mac for the past it's almost 8 months now. It's the same exact crap as Windows is. Not better, not worse. There are things that it does a lot worse. There are things that it does better. It's just the same piece of annoying application that you need to that you need to suffer through. It's just what it is. Just has its own set of quirks. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
and
right.
it fails and breaks, and you need to reboot it the same amount of time I need to do for Windows. So
Nobody has me beat on the rebooting Windows. I'm up to about 3 times a day now due to my instability. So-
I was talking some months ago about switching to AT&T because it would save
for cell phones or home
phone.
internet.
Yeah, for cell phone
Cell phones,
because
okay.
it was almost half price of what we pay T-Mobile. When you go like in the mall or at Costco, whatever, and you say, okay, tell me what would it cost. It was almost half price. Well, finally decided, okay, let's do it. So I'm at Costco and I said, okay, look, we went through a few times. Tell me. So he went and asked questions and this and that. And what phones do you have? And what phones do you want? I said, I don't care which ones we'll have. I mean, we're obviously going to have some new phones. Oh, because if you don't get the iPhone that they give you, then it's $20 more a month for each line.
So
So
Apple
you
is
have to get
Apple's subsidizing
yeah.
that.
So you have
That's
to
smart
do it.
move.
So as we're talking, and what phone do you have? It came out to be more than what T-Mobile charges now.
Of course,
And
because
he
you're
said,
buying new phones.
well, it wasn't like that 8-9 months ago. 8-9 months ago, instead of 182, it was 103. And you get all new iPhones and all that. But Hannah couldn't use the iPhone 16 because there was a problem with the app for her insulin pump. So we were waiting. The guy is telling me, well, if you had any iPhone, I mean, and it can be any iPhone, any condition. I mean, we don't care. So,
Yeah.
oh,
But give it to for free.
yeah. So I go home
Go on.
and
eBay.
I do a search on eBay, and I found the what?
I said go home and do a search on eBay.
Yeah. So I did, and I see a lot of phones, an Apple iPhone, 13 and up. It has to be
Mhm.
like $30, $40, not working. And I've never heard about iPhone 13 mini. So I said, well, I mean, it's any iPhone. So I'm looking, and I told Hannah, I said, I'm looking for this. She said, she called later and she said, Dad, I was just reading their page and it excludes the iPhone mini. You can't.
That's why that one is cheap. Probably
Ah.
others are more expensive.
Well, what's the difference? You are asking me to give you a phone in any
yeah,
condition,
yeah,
then
yeah.
it doesn't have to work.
Nothing. Yeah, but nothing makes sense
See?
here. But the moment they make the rule, everything is aligned by those rules.
Yeah.
So if it excludes the mini, then the mini is useless, and that's why you can get it for $30. That's why if you're looking, I don't know, for the 13 not mini, it's probably $100 and not
Yeah,
30. That's what I'm
correct.
saying.
Yeah.
You should have called me. I've got a couple of old iPhones sitting in the desk right
Yeah.
here.
He'll sell them to you for $100.
No, I mean, Hannah was saying, she said, Dad, just ask T-Mobile what kind of new phones they will give you if you extend, or even though there's no contract. So I'm going to go and ask, because now AT&T is not a deal anymore.
So I suspect that the reason that the price has gone up there is that the new iPhones
Yeah.
are out and Apple
The
is
17.
heavily subsidizing AT&T, and to that they are trying to force people
Yep.
into the ecosystem.
Yep.
And that's why it wasn't like that 8 months ago, because these phones just came out. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what, less than a month ago or a month ago?
Yeah, and I thought, and she told me, she said, I can use a 15. It will be work fine. So I asked them. He said, no, we can't do a 15. It has to be a 16. I mean, a 17.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And
You should
yeah,
take a look
said,
at
and I
you
said,
should take a look at
What? At what?
there's, I mean, all of the alternative cell providers, Straight Talk, Mint
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these companies, it's all the same stuff. And the really big difference is how much is the company spending on advertising? I mean, Verizon and
Sure.
AT&T spend $1 gazillion a year on advertising,
Yep.
and it's why their stuff's a little bit more expensive than Mint or Straight
Yeah, I
Talk.
mean-
I'm still on AT&T, but if I had to switch tomorrow, I'd probably go with Straight or Mint or Patriot or one of the
Yeah, they're
lesser
using the
known
same networks. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so interesting. Okay. It's this time of day.
we're over.
Yep. Anything else anybody wants to mention? Do you have anything that you want to talk about? Nothing? Oh, well. All right. Well, thanks, Nick. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Gal. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Dana, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov and Yael. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive, update your virus scanner, and don't forget to change any same passwords where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT 1110 a.m. and 99.3 FM. And it's on YouTube, so just go to YouTube and search for the Carolina Journal News Hour, and you'll get all the details. And Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., Nick also hosts his own show, The Nick Craig Show, at nickcraig.com. So go to nickcraig.com, and you'll get the information where to watch it or where to download and listen to it. Have a great week, and we'll be back together next week. Bye-bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.